Hey, Cade, James Edwards, the Athletic Detroit. It's obviously no secret that you've met with the Pistons, and as much as they're trying to learn about you, I'm sure you have questions for them and want to learn about them. What did you take away from your meeting with them, the front office, what they're trying to do?
I took a lot away from it. The organization has a lot of great people within it. Starting from the owners, Troy Weaver's a great GM, and then all the way down, they got just great people throughout. So I learned a lot on my visit. If they take me, I'd definitely be excited to be there. And they're a great organization. They got a lot of good things going for them. I think they're in the restoration, period. I don't think they're rebuilding. I think they're just trying to restore what they got going on. So definitely an exciting time for that organization for sure.
All right, next question from Jared Greenberg.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Cade, I understand you've been doing a lot of yoga. Can you tell me how you got into that, why you started it, and how it's helped you?
I started it just, to kind of open up my body. I feel like it's something it's kind of been slept on. But since I started through my pre-draft, I feel like I've gained a lot of mobility and strength, just holding a bunch of different positions and things like that, opening up my hips and, all those things. So I definitely feel a difference in my body, and I don't think I'm going to stop doing it anytime soon. So probably something that's going to be new, addition to the routine.
Well, what's the most difficult pose that you're trying to conquer?
What's my most difficult one? I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically like you're on one leg and you're trying to basically flatten yourself out against the wall. So you'll be at 90 degrees with your hips. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to show you sitting down, but it's tough.
You can stand up and show us if you want.
Nah, you good, man. Come on, man. You all right?
All right, we'll take our next question from Aaron Beard.
Hey, Cade, Aaron Beard with the Associated Press. You talked in March about the idea of when you're being the top pro prospect that people talk about, that you always said you wanted to be that guy. What would the top player in the world do when you would be in scenarios? I'm curious how that started, at what age you started thinking in those terms.
I'd say I probably started thinking about that once I let football go. That was like the turning point for, me locking in and just sticking with basketball. And so, from that point on is whenever I wanted to be the best. So I'd say probably going into my 9th grade year is when I started, studying more as far as like the mindset of, the top guys and just how they approach situations and things like that. And, it helped me get to this point.
And one follow-up, what are your thoughts about, everybody talks about you as a scorer, but how much pride do you take in your playmaking and setting guys up and making the right reads in the right situation?
Take a lot of pride. Playmaking, anytime I watch basketball or just watching a player, I feel like their playmaking ability kind of shows how much they know the game and just their feel for the game. So, if you can make plays for your team and help put your teammates in winning positions, then you can always find yourself, getting playing time, things like that. So I take a lot of pride in it. I feel like it's a huge skill, and, I'm only going to try to get better at it.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Juan Barraco.
Thank you, Kelly. Cade, how's it going? Juan Barraco for Salimo, Uruguay. Who's that one player that made you fall in love with basketball?
The player that made me fall in love with it? I'd probably say Dirk Nowitzki, just because, coming from Dallas, he's, the biggest thing that we had going on. So when he won that championship 2011, I remember the whole city feeling like it was, rumbling. So having that as, somebody to watch for your hometown team, he got buckets. So I'd probably say he was the one that made me really fall in love with it.
Okay, and next question from Brian Bearfield.
Thank you for your time, Kay. I appreciate it. Does the youth and athleticism of the Rockets intrigue you?
Definitely. I feel like, having young pieces that, you can build with and build on is important. And, Houston is a team that has a lot of things that they're trying to get back to. And so, I'm excited to see where they're going with it. Kevin Porter, started getting things going and he's looking like he's on track to have a great career. They got Christian Wood and just some more guys that, are ready to start getting comfortable in the NBA. So definitely an intriguing spot for sure.
And do you feel any pressure on being a top 5 pick?
One question.
Nah, I don't feel any pressure with it. At the end of the day, it's basketball. It's something I've been doing for a long time. So if I feel pressure about being, a big time player or a good player, then there's no point in me, working hard to get to that. So I feel like that's to take pressure off is, working hard and preparing yourself.
Okay, next question from Rod Beard.
Hey, what's up, Cade? I wanted to ask you about your daughter and how that helps you to mature maybe a little bit quicker and how she's the motivation for things that you're doing.
Yeah, having her a team father, that's definitely gonna make you grow up quick. And I, having the dreams that I had, I knew that was gonna be something that, I would have to lock in on and, put that ahead of anything else. My daughter comes before basketball, comes before anything. So making sure that she knows that I'm here for her and, she's top priority. I try to make sure that, and then, it made me lock in on the sport that I love because I know how much basketball can help me provide for my family. And so, I'm not going to let that go to waste, being careless and not putting in the time that I need to.
Just a quick follow-up. When you did come to Comerica Park, what was your reaction to the reception that you got with the fans chanting, "We want Cade"?
Yeah, that was cool. They showed a lot of love throughout. And when I'm walking through the city, walking through the stadium, things like that, they showed a lot of love. So that type of stuff means a lot. Anytime they can show love. I remember dreaming of being a top guy. And, now that being from Arlington, I'm all the way out in Detroit and people are talking about we want Cade, things like that. It's surreal for me. So, I know I played in a lot of big games and things like that. But that type of stuff still kind of gives me the chills. And, I'm still super appreciative of it.
Next question from Jonathan Fagan.
Thanks for doing this, Cade. At this stage of the process, how do you feel about potentially meeting with either the Rockets or any other teams that have high draft picks? Or do you feel like it's pretty much Detroit and you're just ready to get on with that?
I wanted to meet with the team that has the number 1 pick because I feel like I'm the number 1 pick. So I met with Detroit. They're the ones that have the pick. If the Rockets go get the number 1 pick, then, maybe I'll meet with them if there's enough time. But, that's the way that we went into it. I felt like I prepared myself to be in this position. So, I'm gonna stick with it. And, I'm happy to see where I go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question from Pranav.
Cade, what has this draft process been like for you?
It's been a bunch of different things. It's been a kind of a journey in itself. A lot of ups, couple downs. I'd say the biggest downs are just, being by myself, a lot of 1-on-0 and things like that. Not being able to, be with a team and things like that. But, it's also been a lot of fun, being able to really work on my game, lock in. I've been with my brother and my cousin, Cannon and Ashton, this whole time. And so having this time to, focus on what I wanted to add and what I want to, fine tune, it's only time to get better and, only time to build confidence for the season.
A quick follow-up, main takeaway from the Oklahoma State program that you were at?
I didn't hear you said what was that?
One of the main takeaways from the Oklahoma State program that you were at last year?
I'd say the number one thing, when I was at Oklahoma State, I never, let myself get too down just because I was around a bunch of great people. And I feel like that's something that's, super important for any recruit that's going into a school. You want to be around people that on the bad days that you don't want to practice, on days that you're sore, you don't want to get out of bed, things like that, that you're surrounded around people that, you can go through that with and take losses with and, all those things, because that only makes the winning so much better. So I know I was around a lot of really good people. And, you know, they made my time at OSU great. And especially, I was only there for 1 year, but, you know, I have friends brothers that, you know, I know will last a lifetime. So, and I'm excited to see where they're going to go from here. You know, they got some recruits coming in, and next year they should, you know, try to be top 10 again. So I'm glad to see that, you know, me going there helped with this process, but Coach Mike is the man. He knows what he's doing for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next question from La Guerrera.
Hey, Cade, if you can compare your game to any current or former NBA player, who would that be?
I mean, there's a lot of guys that are bigger playmakers, bigger, you know, primary ball handlers, things like that. But I mean, it's kind of hard for me. I don't like comparing myself to people that are around my age, definitely, because, you know, we're about to play against each other. So, you know, I hear a lot of the Luka comparisons and things like that, which, you know, I can definitely see it. But, you know, next year we're going to be playing against each other. So I'm not comparing myself to somebody like that. But, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, big time players, Penny Hardaway, Magic, Jason Kidd, you know, just guys that came in with bigger bodies that, you know, still found ways to make plays and use their bodies to their advantage. So I try to take what I can from each one of those guys and add it to myself.
Next question from Spencer Davies.
Spencer Davies, basketballnews.com. Hey, Cade, you talk about yourself being a top guy and preparing for this moment, being the top pick. My question is, what is it about the challenge of playing at the NBA level that excites you?
I think it's, you know, being up against the best players in the world. I feel like, you know, that's the highest level of basketball. Basketball is something that I truly love, something that, you know, I'll put a lot of time into, a lot of hard work into. And, you know, to be able to play against the top players in the world, that's, you know, what I've been trying for. That's what I've been working for. So it's exciting. That's, you know, finally being able to achieve my dreams and see what I really got. So I'm excited. There's no pressure, you know, it's just an opportunity.
Next question, let's take Alan Silva.
Hi, Cade. It's Alan Silva from Costa Rica for PC Basket. You usually control the ball and the offensive tempo at OSU. Do you think you can be successful in the NBA without playing that role?
You said without playing that role?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could. I think, you know, wherever I get placed, I feel like I'll find ways to be effective and to, you know, help impact the game for my squad. But, you know, when I go into a training camp or, you know, wherever I land, I'm still going to try to go in and play my game. And, you know, be me. I'm not going to change myself for anybody, you know, but I always adjust for winning, for sure.
Appreciate it and good luck.
Thank you.
Next question from Zach Braziller.
Hey, Cade, there's been a lot of talk about the top of this draft for a few years now, whether it's you, it's, you know, Kuminga, Jalen, you know, Suggs. I mean, what are your thoughts on how good the top of this draft class is and how kind of you're looking forward to following these guys for the years to come and just seeing what you guys can do at the next level?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying for a long time, I feel like we had one of the best classes in a long time. And, you know, I'm really appreciative of the fact that, you know, we've all been pushing each other throughout, you know, us coming through high school and things like that. I remember every camp we've been to, I mean, anytime I've seen those guys in AAU tournaments, anything, you know, we always pushed each other. You know, it's kind of an unwritten rule, but we always made sure that we guard each other. We always, you know, try to get the best out of each other. And I feel like, you know, us doing that from a young age and coming up together, even though we were competing against each other, at the same time, we were making each other better. So, you know, I'm excited to see where everybody lands and see everybody succeed in the league.
Any favorite memories of playing against any of these other top guys you have?
I mean, just all the camps. The camps were always so much fun. I mean, that was like the first time that I would be able to get away and finally see other basketball players that were, going through the same things as me and, kind of walking the same line in life as me. So, everybody kind of got close through that. And, I've built some really close friends through that. So the camps are always fun, man. And long live T. Clark, he used to always have that big old smile in all those camps, keeping everybody happy. So, the camps are always it for sure.
Next question from Andrew Schlecht.
Yeah, I just wonder what the experience has been like with your other teammates from Montverde. There's lots of guys that are projected to go in the first round. Moses Moody and Scotty Barnes and Daron Sharp has apparently been shooting the ball really well in workouts. But like, what's your communication been like throughout this process?
We talk a lot. Me and Daron, we've linked up a couple times. We were both out in LA for a while, so we linked up a couple times. Moses was my roommate for both years at Montverde, so we're locked in. And then Scott has been my guy for a long time. So, we all keep communication. We keep communication throughout the whole Montverde team. And I'm just excited for them. Moses left Montverde not, super highly touted, but the work that he put in throughout high school and then what he did at Arkansas, kind of woke everybody up and put him into lottery conversation. So, seeing that from my squad, I definitely expected it, but, to see everybody achieving their dreams and for us to be at the spot that we're at right now is surreal. I truly feel like we're the greatest high school team ever. And I feel like, what the senior class from that team did, going into this draft class right now, I feel like that's only proving it.
Next question from Rob Parks.
Okay, this is Rob Parks from 48 Minutes. Just talk about how it feels to be able to just change not only your future, your life overall and financially, but your families as well. And then just talk about just all the hard work you put in, because I've been watching you since you were in high school, man, and you definitely the truth. You've been putting in work, man.
Being able to provide for my family is, one of the craziest feelings ever. Being the youngest in the family, I've seen my parents get up. My dad get up 4 a.m. each day. My mom 4:30 each day trying to work. Just seeing that growing up, it only makes you want to work to go get something to elevate everybody. And I feel like, being in this situation now is crazy, but it's something that, I'm not going to take advantage of. I'm not going to, take it lightly. I know it's a big responsibility and, I'm going to try to make the most of that.
Next question from Omari Sankofa.
Hey, Cade, thanks for doing this. Obviously still a week away from the draft, but just how much have you been able to learn about Detroit as a city? I'm sure you've, kind of seen the reaction on social media and everything. You were here earlier this week. Just kind of what's your impression of Detroit overall so far?
Yeah, I love Detroit. I've already, been listening to Detroit music and things like that way before draft lottery, any of that stuff. So I was already hip to the, culture in Detroit. It's a city that has a lot of things going on, and I feel like, getting a sports team rolling again would be huge for the city. So, if Detroit picks me, that's, the main thing I'm gonna try to do is step in, embody, the swag that people from Detroit walk with, the people from, Michigan in general. They kind of have a underdog, go get what you want, feel to them. And I like that about the city. So if I am able to go in there and be the number one pick, I'm gonna try to carry that same swag and how I walk on the court and, make the most out of wearing red, white, and blue for sure.
And if I could follow up, what Detroit music have you been listening to?
I listen to a bunch of it. It's a bunch of different sides out there. So I'm for the city. I don't say too many names, but they got a bunch of guys. 4-2 Doug, Babyface Ray. Who else they got? Temptations. Let's take it back a little bit. It's a bunch of dudes out there. Side of Baby. Who else? I gotta pull my phone up, man. I gotta pull my phone up and get some more. But they got some artists out there. I like it for sure.
Appreciate it.
All right, and we'll take our last question then from Cody Taylor.
Hey, Cade, appreciate your time today. You've previously mentioned that you just want to go to a team that will prioritize your development, both on and off the court. And when you look at the Pistons, even maybe after meeting with them, how do you feel like they'll be able to help you in that department?
I think they'll be able to help me a lot. I saw Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bey with both our rookie team. So I feel like that's a direct correlation of, what that staff is doing with their players and the amount of time they put into development. So, that's a good indication in itself. That's something I like to see. And both of those guys are, rookies. So young core, things going well for them. Obviously, they didn't have the season that they wanted last year, but, that's a lot of things to build off of. So, I've learned a lot. I learned a lot from them on my visit and then, just doing research after the lottery.